on the internet. Okay, so I'm going to just start with a new document. Doesn't matter what size, but I'm going to make something reasonable size. Sorry, I was doing a poster for someone, so let me just reset it to like paper size. Okay, so the basics of shapes. Of course, we can use shapes to do a lot of our work here. Notice, of course, I can draw a circle. What we haven't used a lot before is over here, there's a white arrow tool called the node tool. You'll notice it does some weird things with objects, but to do them, you have to right-click first and make them curves. You'll be able to, with the white tool, change shapes more finely. So if I want a different kind of shape, I can then do that here. And I can even get rid of some of these dots if I press delete. So I can get a more specific head shape. So notice I can get a non-perfect ellipse now that looks more like a head by using that white node tool, selecting a node, and then hitting delete on the bottom node, and then re-stretching it out. So the node tool is really great for making unusual shapes and adapting shapes rather than having to hand draw them. So I'm going to change this over to some regular colors, and then I'm just going to do the basics of a body. Nope, that's not a skin color. Let's do... Nope, that's like a meat. I'm going to go lighter. There we go. Okay, so got the basics of a basic skin tone here. Let's give them a really simple body. These are going to end up really cartoonish, and that's totally okay. So I'm going to give them... Actually, do I want to do... Let's do a neck real quick. And actually, I'm going to use a trapezoid for neck. So I get a little bit of a slope to it. And then, remember, you can right-click, convert to curves. And I'm going to try and make a little bit of a bend so this looks a little bit more natural. So notice I'm just grabbing the edge here and bending it slightly with that node tool. And there we go. That looks more like a normal thing. And then I'll go take a triangle to make a torso. Let's do a triangle real quick. And I'm going to turn it upside down. $180. That looks like normal. I'm going to shrink this all down just a little so I have more space. Caduce, you should have your eyes on the board. So notice triangle body looks a little bit sharp. There's a tool below the white node tool. There's a tool that changes corners. It's called the corner tool. And you'll notice I can round things out a little bit by grabbing those squares. And now I've got a weird muscular-looking chest, but much more human-looking like. And let's not make it skin tone so it doesn't look like he's naked. That's totally what it looks like right now. Let's give him a red shirt. There we go. For added realism, I'm going to bring this to the front, and I'm going to take my node tool, and I'm going to round the bottom here, so it looks more like a neck. And actually, let's give it a little bit of an outline. See if I can increase that stroke a little bit. And then bring this forward so it's in front of the neck. And then give that an outline as well. It's starting to look a little bit more like a person. Really, really tiny torso, but still works. I'm going to try and increase that a little bit. We've got the basics there. From there, I can start adding arms. I can start adding sleeves if I want. Sleeves would, again, probably be... Well, you could use the segment tool to probably make sleeves. Put them in. And I'm going to take away that stroke so it blends in with the shirt. Just move it down so those curves meet. And I'm going to copy and paste the other sleeve to the other side. Got nice sleeves. And I could add arms. Clutches. And then make those the same skin tone. Notice when you guys make a color, or when you make color choices, it stores them over here. So I can just get that skin tone I used earlier by clicking that. Let me move this to the back now. Arrange, send to back. And I've got the basics of an arm. A lot of drawing in Affinity Designer is just all about figuring out how to make things out of basic shapes and adapt those basic shapes. Remember again, convert to curves. If you want to make a little bit of curve to make it a little bit more normal looking. There you go. Again, convert to curves. And I'm going to bend that a little bit more. Ooh. Could make them swole. And there we go, got the basics of arms. When you're making a face, some things you want to keep in mind. One, don't hand draw all of the shapes. How I would handle eyes, I would copy and paste them once you've created one. So I'm going to create a really simple eye right now. Let's give it a stroke around the edge. Let me convert to curves again. And let me see if I can make them a little bit more. I've got them a little bit more eye-shaped. And of course, then you can start putting in centers of this. So notice, this goes outside the eye. Like, it's too big to quite fit in where I want to put it. Remember, you can drag things inside an object to hide them partially. So notice now it's hidden inside the object. I can place it outside the object if I need to. What color should I make his eyes? Okay, let's do blue.
Red.
You can make them whatever color you guys want to when you make yours. We're just going to go with regular colors right now. I'm going to take black to make a black center to the eye. And then for a little bit of added realism, I'm going to add a third really small white circle. To add just a little bit of a shine. And there you notice I've got a nice looking eye. Now the thing is, if I try to hand draw this on the other side, I'm going to have a lot of slight differences that are going to look really, really, really weird. So what I'm going to do instead is copy and paste. And then I got to flip it. Flipping, right click, transform, flip horizontal. And then move the eye back to match the other's location. Yeah, the shine's not attached. Where did it go? There it is. And then just try to get it back as best I can over there. And there we go. Now we've got perfectly matching eyes. You of course can change the stroke. I'm probably going to take the stroke down. 2.5. Remember, you want exact numbers, so make sure if you change something You change it to the other side. Wait, one of these isn't the same. That's 4. Take it down to 2.5. Basics there. Okay. Eyebrows? Eyebrows would be really simple. So you can hand eyebrows with a couple different shapes. You can give eyebrows like really black, thick eyebrows by just doing squares. I want to make these the same length. So notice I've got those there. Again, if you want a slight curve, want to make it a little bit more realistic, right-click, convert to curves, grab your node tool, curve them up. And once you've got something that you like, you can always copy and paste it. And of course, also twist it. And you said you could also do those with crescents if you want something a little bit more sharp at the end. You've got the basics of an eyebrow there. And those are probably a little bit simpler than curving the squares. Nose can also be made with a crescent. I always find that really simple to do. So to make it more nose-like, take the opacity down, make it a little bit see-through, and it'll look more like a nose. If you want to add some extra realism, you can of course add nostrils. I find they usually kind of look weird if you added nostrils. Kind of looks almost like pig-like. But if you like it, you can do it. It is, it's like the basics of a me. And then of course you can use another crescent for the mouth. Yep. So you can add a lot of different details as you go too. One thing you might want to do, I've got a lot of crescents, so I'm going to double click and I'm just going to name them. So if you double click a name, I can, for instance, say right nostril. This is left nostril. Where is, yeah, I can do left eyebrow. I'm just showing you how to do that. I'm trying to go into the crescent. Oh, there we go. Here's the mouth. That's a little bit too red on the inside. So what I'm going to do is actually show you guys how to do the inside of the mouth too. When you're layering objects, you can do a lot of different options to add details. So for instance, someone asked about teeth and mouth and tongue. Remember, again, you can drag things into an object. So for instance, I can take segment tool, make the inside pink here, take the stroke down a little bit. Is that too purple? Are we not happy with that? Is that tongue color now? Or is this tongue color?
No, that's not. Actually, that looks like he's just very foolish.
Fine, we'll go with this tongue color.
That's racist. Wow. He drinks food. This man.
Where's mouth? There's mouth. You can put that in the mouth. Resize and change it. You got a little bit of a tongue. Again, you can add another bit of realism by adding a curve, curving it a little bit. And you got his tongue. You can of course make it even make it